Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is episode 2 of my British game. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe and turn your post notifications on when you subscribe so you never miss another upload from me. And let's crack in pretty quickly here as we're getting later into the day. It is currently almost 3 PM, which is obviously later than I'd like to normally film. Just I haven't felt much like filming today. So it's quite late, unfortunately. But yeah, crack on here and we'll get to filming and we'll get a video out, hopefully. Give or take if we can actually get it out in the end, because I don't think my PC wants to film either. Yeah. I've turned the brightness up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the brightness on my PC was miserable at best. So I've decided that I'll turn that up, and maybe that might make the game a little bit brighter. Hopefully. I'm not sure, but there's a hope. It does look a little bit brighter, to be fair. Hopefully. What are we gonna do here is the question. So just trying to remind myself of where we left off yesterday and figure out where to go from here. Let's click on the allies faction and see if there's anything here. Nope. Nothing there. We might be able to do a focus here, give or take a lot. If we go along here, we might be able to find it. We should be there soon. Also, I haven't got much space to move my mouse because I've got a plate sitting quite close to my mouse mat, and I'm basically just complaining about the fact my mouse hasn't got much space to move, so I'm having to do everything in like 10 movements instead of 1. It's quite annoying, and it's not making me very happy. In fact, if I do that, move that up there, and then chuck that there. There you go, that should improve the situation a little bit. I hope. Right, so good. Partial mobilization here. Just basically building up stuff to prepare for war when that does eventually happen. I will play the game here, because otherwise we'll never get anything done. Obviously we need to make sure the game is playing and we're continuing forward. We're not going to assign anyone yet. Okay, it's either my mouse is highly unreactive or well, I'm just adjusting my mouse's speed here. That's 1 speed, that's 2 speed, and that should be 3 speed. And that should be 1 speed again. Yeah, 2, 3. There you go. That should be a lot more reactive. Sorry, I just have to remind myself of how the mouse works, because it's got speeds it can go on to. I need to make sure it's on the correct one for what I want it to be, so it works the best. Now, here we are going to get cracking immediately on with some naval deployment. I'm just having to check on how the Navy is doing. Well, it turns out we are in a small lack of resources. That's not good. At all, in the slightest. right. So we are clearly a lack of resources beyond belief. When we do get down here, we will be going down to, I think, this one. I think. No, can't be, can it? If you want to form Rome, that's clearly not the correct one. It says one Rome, but it's not the Roman Empire type of Rome. Meeting with the Pope is all good, but that's not what we want to do. So down this, it's got to be something to do with restore the Holy Roman Empire, and then go down to the Roman Empire. Unless there is one that actually says form the Roman Empire, which I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised at this level. It's going to be down the communist path, isn't it? Yeah. Because the thing is that the communist path, you go down communism and then you can go back down to not being communist. It's an interesting way of doing things. Is it down here? Probably. We obviously down here you can obviously get the German Kaiser into power, which is interesting in itself. That might be meeting with the Pope and then restore the Holy Roman Empire. Well, the problem is I don't really want to go Holy Roman Empire, I want to go the Roman Empire. Like, not just like a partial bit of Rome, it's fully let's go proper back to Rome. Apparently it doesn't exist. Did I just say I could? I'm hoping there's not an option here that I can take China entirely. Well, there is, which of course there is. Nice. You can go Republic, or you can go full-on Communist or whatever. I think here we will stay very much heading towards democracy. Nope, we've already gone past that point. We're heading to the King's Party is what we're going to be doing. That's the idea anyway. And either Britannia first or look back to the past, one or the other. That's the idea anyway. Is it possible to reinforce the Empire? Right, okay, so we basically need to do one of the focuses. I need to scroll out because this is such a big focus tree, it's hard to see. So obviously not doing any of them. So we clearly need to do one of the ones over here, which is King's Party, or the other ways we don't want to go. I think we will look at doing a Navy path then. Is it done limited rearmament or is it done its own separate thing? Well, we don't really mind about the US. They're not going to do much to us anyway. So why would we listen to them and whatever they want, because they feel threatened by us, as they should do. Like, I'm not listening to them and whatever they feel like they can say, because they're not Britain and they will never be Britain. So they shall not have any control over the country at all. So that's fun. We need resources here, and a lot of them are that. But the problem we've got is without taking territory, you can't really get many more resources. We've already got all research completed. We can get some more tungsten here, but not much overall helping out with what we need done. But I think if we would scroll down a bit, we might be able. I mean, there's some resources. I wouldn't say it's exactly all that we want. I mean, we've got more tungsten, we got rubber, got iron ore, and then just oil fields, which is okay. I mean, it's not exactly what we need, but I mean, it'll do for, you know, improving production and stuff. But in reality, we definitely need to be taking some territory here as soon as we can, because the way it is at the minute, we are not in a position that we're going to be able to survive building sort of style of navy we want to build with the amount of resources we have. That's just not going to happen. So we definitely 100% need to go and look for more things, look for those resources, look for whatever else it is that we need. And we need to achieve it as well. So we've got some work to do here. And by some work, I mean we've got a lot of work and there's a lot of things that need doing. I think the first move probably is to take Ireland, to be fair, because they border us, it'd be easy to take them. It's a statement of intent, realistically. I mean, the Irish invasion and seizure would not be one of, we take Ireland, we solve half of our problems. It's more, we take Ireland and it's a political gain, which shows that we're willing to, you know, fight and win for the battle we need to do, and that we have the strength and ability to do so, rather than we're going to take them and have a bunch of new resources, because they don't really have much. But yeah, it's just about a political statement, realistically. Here's the abdication crisis. We here are going to compromise on a, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word. Just the compromise option is what we're going to do. And that way, I believe if you get a war with Germany, we get bombed, the royal family gets hit with, you know, something flying from the air. And that way we get a new king that should eventually hand over the throne to Elizabeth II. That's how I believe that one works. But yeah, we'll see how that all goes. 193 days until the king abdicates or does a lack of it, which I am obviously setting him up to do a lack of abdications, because I don't want him to abdicate. I want him to stay in power, because it's better for us if he does stay in power, to be fair. Obviously, we do not want a ship in 37. So I'm going to try and boost this back into 36. So I'm going to put some more dockyards on it. So that's 180 dockyards on that ship, which is still saying 6th of Jan 1937, which obviously isn't any good for us. But the problem is we need a bunch of factories, which we do not have. So do we need civilian? Yeah, we need civilian factories here to be able to produce the ability to import more resources, I think. I think what we're all forgetting here, mainly me, is that we have an empire. And we should probably use that empire to build stuff. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to turn on the console command here, and we're just going to go around the Mediterranean building things. We'll do some more civilian nuclear reactors, and we'll put one here in Gibraltar, and then we'll chuck in 2 civilian factories, just while we're at it. Then we'll go over to Malta, chuck in a nuclear factory here, and then we'll chuck in some civilians as well. Right, so let's put some civilian factories down on the site. There we go. Effectively what we're trying to do is just build up a sort of balance of having enough civilian factories that we can trade a lot of goods, and we'll be able to use that ability to be able to build the amount of ships we want to do. So that's the idea of it here. Now whether it will work in practice or not is a separate matter entirely, but it should work. So I'll just build up some more nuclear factories here. That way we can just basically gain nukes just because why not. So put some in everywhere we can. Here in Egypt. Apparently you can't build it in the desert. That is annoying. Really wish they could change that. Right. Just going to casually build up a bunch more civilian factories here. And then we need to just build one singular naval dockyard. There you go. Now we will turn off instant construction, and hopefully here, quite a hope at that, is that we should have just enough factories now. We're at 377 factories, which should be good. Now we'll have a little look and see what we can get done with them. Because obviously we need a lot of materials to be able to build stuff. We need 1,000. Right. We need a lot more factories. Like I'm talking, we need 10 times the amount of factories we've got. Okay. It's probably a few more factories than I was expecting to need. Right. So here's what I think we should do. Now we're able to see all the resources that everyone's got. Is I think that we should turn that back on. We should see them again. And we should see what our moves need to be. I think France is someone that needs to... I mean, to be fair, Ireland does actually have some resources. They've got coal, which is highly useful. They've got a bit of tungsten. So I think Ireland's definitely, well, a nation that needs to fall. But I think also it's not a bad idea per se to maybe look at France or Belgium or the Netherlands to surrender, or maybe a Germany, because they all have like not even like a small batch, they have a decent batch of resources that could honestly go straight into naval production for us, and I think that'd be quite nice. I think let's have a look down towards Africa here, because I think, could be wrong, but I think Liberia has a bit of resources to them. Rubber, yeah, that's useful. Let's go and have a look in South America. No, I simply refuse to go to war with Brazil here, so that ain't happening. The Netherlands has a bit of resources out there, but not much. Venezuela's more oil-based and coal-based, but that's not obviously what we want. Let's have a look at these Caribbean nations like Cuba and stuff. Cuba has got a lot of chromium, and so is Haiti and the Dominican. But the problem is they're backed by the Americans. And you see, the Americans don't exactly like it when you declare war on a nation like Cuba. So effectively you have to capitulate them straight. Like you have to get in, finish your job, get out. Because they do not like it. I mean, Costa Rica's got some chromium, Panama's got oil. They've got all like resources that, you know, if you want tanks or whatever, you would need. But I need massive amounts of steel and massive amounts of chromium. That's what I need. I need it as quick as I can get it. I mean, Argentina's probably going to be the best bet here, let's be honest. Well, Uruguay's got a lot. No, Chile. That's unnecessary. I'm not going to lie. Chile is looking really good for British colonisation. It's got the resources I need. It's got a lot of them. And because I have the ability to, you know, expand the mines and whatnot, I could get more. Meaning, I'm very tempted. Like, very tempted here. So much so that I might be willing to do it. Let's just... I know I've paused the game here. That's because we're about to do something slightly silly. Just get down to 24 divisions here. So we'll just pop them down 24 divisions here, assign them to Army 1, assign them in here. So let me explain the sort of idea here that I've got. It's slightly insane, but it might work. Just give or take a bit. The idea is we're going to assemble the units. We're just going to plop them into Chile's capital, spread out very quickly, as quick as we physically can, and try and take Chile within a day, maybe two, ideally under a week, in order to not upset America too badly, to gain all of Chile, gain resources, build up the navy, and generally get away with it. Now, I think one of the biggest ifs in there is if we can get away with it, because America, as I said prior to this, does not like any nation going to war with any other nation in South America. They hate it entirely and they all come to their defense. And obviously that means if Britain goes to try and do something in there, America's going to come and try and tell us off for it, which is not good. So, what we're going to try and do is something slightly ridiculous, slightly out of our scope, but we're going to try and invade Chile super quickly, taking it, and then packing our bags and running away. And by that, I don't mean leaving the country entirely. I mean just saying to America, sorry, didn't know that was Chile, and hoping that works. Now, we're going to have to use a couple of console commands here, otherwise this is never going to work. So, obviously, we need to be able to declare war with whoever we want, which is that one, and then we need to declare war as quickly as we can here. They have got the Monroe Doctrine. That is the doctrine that America basically says, don't think so. Obviously, you can see here they get Chile under attack as soon as we do this. So we're going to call allies. We're going to immediately declare war. We're going to then immediately grab our forces, open the console command tab up, turn teleporting on, which allows us to teleport divisions anywhere. We're then going to close that. We're going to move them straight into Santiago here, straight into the capital. This is the only way we're going to win this. And then we'll turn these off. Now we're going to immediately draw a front line and immediately just go everywhere. We just got to spread out as much as we physically can here. And as long as we take enough victory points quick enough, we should be okay. Now this is a huge risk here, because this could backfire really badly. But we're going to take a risk on it. We just need them to keep moving and not stop. Now obviously if America does come and say, do you mind? We're going to say sorry, because we're not about to go to war with America over this. Like, there's no way I can physically go to war with America over Chile. It's just not worth the while to do. But, you know, you would hope that at some point they... Right, Chile has got a bit of naval dominance. Nice. Good to know. Every time this event pops up here, I'm concerned that it's going to be effectively the United States saying, not today. And it will be at some point. So I'm very concerned that we get this done as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we're going to go for the option of take out Cuba, take out Haiti, and take out the Dominican Republic, and then go to Chile again with a naval support this time. And maybe we take out America before we do it next time. Could be an idea. But then... So, here's what happens when you make America annoyed. They tell you off. Problem is here, when you do this, and they say this does not concern them, call their bluff, they go to war with you. That is guaranteed. When you say this, you get a white peace, which means you're no longer at war. However, because all my troops are in their territory, it doesn't exactly bode well. So what we're going to do here is something even more stupid. We're going to go to white peace, right? All good, looking good, nice, nice. We're then going to turn on the 2 previous console commands, because, well, that's simply why not. We're then going to go back to war with Chile again. However, this time we might have to use an extra console command just to make sure we win this war as quickly as possible. So we'll obviously call their bluff again by going back into war. We'll immediately teleport into Santiago and then into here as well. We'll just stay in the port tile here. We'll turn that off. Then what we'll do here, so we'll turn on another console command, which is one I generally rather not use, but it exists, so I may as well use it. It's not called OOP, it's just called OP, or in other words, Occupation Paint. Now I believe if we do this, yes, it works, nice. So now effectively what we're doing is we're just going to make them essentially surrender. We're just going to paint their entire territory into British colours and then just go around fighting any pockets that rise up. That might win us the war. Also might not, who knows. But we'll at least try. Here, we'll at least try. So effectively, we're just going to basically send them wherever they are needed. And they should have the victory here, give or take a lot. So we'll obviously go and draw some front lines around here as much as we can, and hope that we can take all of their territory as quick as possible. I'm hoping that this works, to be fair, because this is a risk and I'm hoping it works out. What's the war looking like? How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? They're so close to surrender. Okay. We're good. We should have this. We just need to basically move the troops up here, because as long as we get the troops into this province and we hold it, they should surrender. He says. Yes, they have. Okay, this is good for us. We now need to go to a peace conference before America asks for white peace. If we do not, there you go. But we're in a good stead here. We're doing good. Now we need to effectively take their navy and take the military, and get out of this peace conference and effectively just play into America's hands. Oh no. Oh dear. We're not going to be able to take all of Chile here. That's not good. Well, let's focus on some territory that we need. So we need that, because it's got a bunch of production of things we need in it. We'll have that as well. Oil's not much of an issue for us. I mean, mainly we want... That'll be helpful. We'll take that as well. We'll take that. We'll take Easter Island, because why not? And then that. And then we'll submit all those demands. And then we just have one state left, effectively. However, no one has any points to take it, which is fun. So what we'll do here is we'll confirm an exit, and then we'll just use another console command to take it forcefully. So we'll do that, and then we'll do... I'm just going to check that what I think is the correct tag is the correct tag for them. Yeah. Right, so we'll just do that, and then they're ours, so that's good. Right. So that went well. We now own all of Chile. We get resources alongside it, so that is good. And we get also more territory, so that means more factories, which is also really good. So overall, that was a very good invasion, and it worked out wonders. And now we get to see the United States be mad at us for no apparent reason. Oh, we're sorry. We'll wipe peace with a country that doesn't exist. That's just how you basically beat the Monroe system. You just have to use a bunch of console commands. Or you go to war with America, one or the other. It's like, there's no middle ground there. Anyway, that is it for this episode. We've obviously gained some territory. Next episode, we will continue to build up the Navy, and we will possibly even take more territory, or I might take some territory off camera, who knows. But yeah, hope to see you all tomorrow for the next episode, and yeah, see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.